Hello, BD. It's Sal Stretford Post. How you all doing? I hope you're all doing well. And welcome to another episode of Chatterbox. Hope everyone's doing good. Everyone's doing fine. Ruben Amram just had his press conference, of course, guys. Before I get into that, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and smash a like on the video. If you guys can do that, it's not cold. It's not cold. I'm just, you know what I mean? I've got the air conditioning on. People don't understand when you're living in the Middle East, right? There's air conditioning, right? And it does get very cold in the air conditioning. Absolutely, it does. But thank you, everyone, for joining me. Yes, Ruben Amram has had his press conference. I know it's a very downing, sort of miserable, depressing press conference. We had some really ridiculous questions like Mason Mount, for example. Do you plan to go on holiday to Malaysia one day? I mean, is there any way to waste a question? Do you plan to go to Malaysia? What players do you like from Southeast Asia? Mate, come on, man. Why don't we delve into Manchester United? There was a question that was asked about money, finances. Will the Champions League affect Man United? Ruben Amram said, you know, we have a backup plan in regards to the Champions League, that we have our targets. He also spoke about FFP and PSR. You know, that we can't just sign players and blah. He said, but Omar Barada is in the room. Maybe it's better to ask Omar Barada. I would have probably asked Omar Barada. I would have got the mic in front of Omar Barada's face and said, what's going on, mate? Best in class. What's going on, mate? Best in class. What's going on? That's what I would have done. Omar Barada is standing there. I would have went straight to him. Where's Omar? Sorry, Ruben. Where's Omar? Oh, Omar's over there. Oh, okay. Omar, what happened about best in class? What's going on with that? Yeah, absolutely. That's what I would have done. 120,000%. That's what I would have done. Because then you could have asked them what's going on with the finances. Why are we the only ones complaining about FFP, complaining about PSR, complaining about all that nonsense? You know, excuses. That is what it seems like with the Glazers. It's like they love FFP. They love PSR. That's what it's all about. And, you know, that's the excuse what it's going to be all summer. That is the excuse. This is why I really wanted us to win this Europa League final. So one of the biggest reasons was we wouldn't get a stupid excuse every single time about PSR and FFP. Because at the end of the day, there's teams that are manipulating FFP, PSR. We don't even know if it's a serious thing because you know what? There are teams that have manipulated it already. They've actually bent the rules already. And nothing is happening to them. You know, what's happening to Man City's charges? Nothing to do with Man. This is just an excuse. We hold them accountable. This is going to be the excuse. Wow, you know, FFP, you know, we're in debt. We're going to be broke by Christmas. You're going to be broke by Christmas. So you shouldn't have bought the club then, isn't it? You know what I mean? So bloody annoying. You know, supporting this club. I love supporting this football club, but they've made it so annoying at times because at the end of the day, these owners, they're only in it for the business side of things. They're here for 5 years, wait for the stadium to be built, and they're going to F off. That's what they're going to do. This is what these owners are about, guys. You know, and we shouldn't fall for their manipulation tactics at the end of the day. That's what I would say, guys. Absolutely. Big up, Lisa. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. They want to rise to the ashes like downfall, so bias UK media. Evening, Freya. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Good to see you. Yeah, you know, Freya, what's going on? Sometimes you have to break the rules to get through good moments and then complain to follow later afterwards. Freya, this is exactly right. 100%, Freya. 100%. You have to be a villain sometimes, Freya, don't you? You can't be too kind in this world. If you're too nice, you're going to get taken advantage of. You know, Man City don't give a damn about those charges. You think they care? The Premier League cannot live without Manchester United. Let me tell you right now, they cannot live without Manchester United. You know, so why don't we bend the rules a little bit? Why don't we twist it a little bit? Why don't we do that? Do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, all these things about, oh, you know what, if we bend the rules, you know, we're going to get relegated. Look, risk a fine, risk a points deduction, build the team. Build the team. I'm sure the Man United faithful would understand. Build the team. You're going to get, I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to get 30 points more anyway if you build the team. That's what's going to be. So I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this negativity. I hate the negativity. Watching Ruben Amorim, it's like we're at a funeral, for God's sake, not a press conference. It was just a downer, wasn't it? It was a downer, no. No one asked him about Cunha. No one. What is going on in these press conferences? Get me in the press conference, guys. No one asked him about bloody Cunha. None of them asked him about Cunha. Stephanie, good morning. Media mischief making all United absolutely hated, adored, and never ignored. Manchester City are yet to be punished, and there were rumours that they will be deducted 15 points. At the end of the day, even if we got deducted 15 points, take it. Take it. Take the bloody hit. Take the hit. Sometimes you have to take the hit. Sometimes you have to take a hit. If you're a boxer, if you're training to be boxing, sometimes you have to get knocked out in training before you understand about being, what you need to do. It toughens you up a little bit. But I just firmly believe, that these people, these owners who are currently in charge of Man United want an excuse. They love PSR. They love FFP because you know what? PSR and FFP is preventing us from signing any players. They got their story all planned out. They got it all planned out. No positive questions. Ridiculous questions, Stephanie. Ridiculous questions. Wait, do you want to go to Malaysia on holiday? Yeah, I think I might go to Malaysia on holiday. I'm thinking of getting the Thomas Cook holiday, actually, booking an all-inclusive package for two. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, what is this? Knowing me, knowing you? Aha. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, what is this? You know what I mean? I was going to ask him how's your bad knee? Have you spoke to your sister lately? What's going on with her? I haven't seen her for a while. You know what I mean? It's like, family affairs, for goodness sake. Goodness me. I was going. The next question they're going to ask: what's your favorite dinner? You know what I mean? What's your favorite color? You know what I mean? Oh, that's a tough question. Maybe the media weren't even aware the fact that Ruben Amorim doesn't have the veto. I thought he was going to say visa then. He's going to say be sent home from Malaysia. Goodness me. Big up Stephanie. Jengas, big up Sal. Big up my friend. Big up Jengas. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. The problem with Manchester United are afraid of circumstances that will follow. This is the thing, Frere. And this is it. I read this. It is absolutely spot on. Spot on, mate, Frere, because you know what we are. I don't want to say anything derogatory, but we're cowards, But at the same time, I'm thinking this is a manipulation tactic. It's a manipulation tactic to spin the masses. This 200 jobs fired thing. I'm starting to think that this is a manipulation tactic for the fans, basically. So when we go into the summer transfer window, we're going to say, well, we sacked 200 people. So, subconsciously, you're going to be thinking that we've got no money. Maybe they're doing things like that, just to, twist things, psychology sort of thing. Maybe they're doing that. I wouldn't be surprised. This is how business works, guys. This is how business works. Now, the truth behind Liam Delap and Mbeumo. There was news this morning about Liam Delap deal agreed. Guys, the deal is going to be agreed because Liam Delap has a release clause of 30 million. Of course, the deal is going to be agreed. The most important thing is up to Liam Delap if he wants to sign for Manchester United. At the moment, it's between Chelsea and Manchester United. Chelsea have 2-3 targets. We have one. We have Liam Delap at the moment. We have Liam Delap. We're not giving up on Gutierrez, but that does look a little bit unrealistic at the moment, given the quotes from Gutierrez the other day. We are obviously in a bit of a pickle with that with Arsenal. So Arsenal will probably sign him, of course. But in regards to Liam Delap, we will hear news about Liam Delap in the next week or so. What do I think? I think we'll sign Liam Delap. I think we will. That's my opinion. Do I agree with that? No, I don't agree with that at all. But you know what? I will take what we offered. If we sign Cunha, if we sign Liam Delap, then that's great. In regards to Mbeumo, there was a lot of news about Mbeumo yesterday. Some of it has substance, some of it doesn't. Man United are interested in Mbeumo. Man United do admire Mbeumo. But Man United are not in talks with Mbeumo. A lot of the people yesterday were talking about Mbeumo. He's in talks with Man United, blah, blah. Basically, all that means is Man United are interested in Mbeumo, admire Mbeumo, but that doesn't mean we're going to sign him. Newcastle are also very interested in Mbeumo. Now, if you're Mbeumo, what would you do? Would you go to Newcastle? Would you go to Man United? At the moment, we're in a bit of a handicap because we don't have Champions League football, which is a problem, of course. That's not to say that we're not going to sign these players. You know, that's not to say. But what is pretty damning is that, you know, we're going to use this FFP, just like I predicted, and PSR. Before the Tottenham game, I said, if we don't win this final, they're going to use that again and again and again. And they're going to play that same record. They're going to forget about the money we've made. They're going to forget about the money we get for finishing in the league. They're going to forget about the money we're going to get from Anthony, Rashford, you know, and all the other players that need to leave. Sure. You know, they're going to forget about that. Even if we did sell those players, they're going to forget about that. They're trying to sweep that under the carpet. Absolutely. Big up, fan. Big up. Freya, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing a day further to fire up the Twitter account admin of the club. Absolutely. Mind games are back. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Hope Delap will choose us over Chelsea and other teams. Champions League is big for him. The thing is, Freya, he doesn't support Man United, does he? He's not a Man United fan. You know, at the end of the day, he's not a Man United fan. Definitely not. We're getting, like, Dortmund always pleading poverty, Sal. Dortmund are the big manipulators. Dortmund, I mean, Borussia Dortmund, for goodness sake, guys. Borussia Dortmund, they're like a, you know, I don't know. They're like one of those really stingy sort of people. You know those people, you go into a restaurant and you're always paying every single week. You're paying. Then at one time you forget your wallet. Oh, I ain't got my wallet. You couldn't get this for me today. Oh, you know what? I'm a little bit short with. And a little bit short. That is Borussia Dortmund at the end of the day. Now, guys, we were talking about the player of the season and the worst player of the season yesterday. The next player on the thing, and I'm going to remind people, Onana is currently our worst player this season with 1 to 3 out of 10, 80%. The best player so far in our ratings is Lenny Euro, 7 to 10 out of 10, 88%. So the next player we are going to do, guys, and this is going to be a clever one because it is Bruno. So let's do Bruno Fernandes. Okay, Bruno Fernandes. There we go. We're going to do that. 1 to 3, 3 to 5. Let me add this option. 5 to 7, and 7 to 10. So Bruno Fernandes, how much will Bruno Fernandes get? So far, our player of the season, according to you, is Euro, followed closely by Nus Mazraoui. So that is interesting indeed, isn't it? That is interesting indeed, guys. Absolutely. Stephanie, 37. Come on, guys. Let's get to 50 likes, my friends. Thank you so much, Steph. Big up. Barcelona are also yet to be punished till that. Exactly. So why are we so, we can't do this? Oh my goodness me. Those guys, they wear a life support in a bloody bubble bath. That's what they did. They wear a life support jacket in a bubble bath. That's Jim Ratcliffe. Life support in a bubble bath. Exactly what it is. Absolutely. How you doing, Donovan? Good to see you, mate. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Good morning, Sal. They get big excuses for not spending. That is their big excuse, isn't it? And we shouldn't be falling for this nonsense. Absolutely nonsense. Sanjeev, our heads are gone. Big up. Yali, if there's a devil in football, it's Dortmund. I mean, never sign a player from Borussia Dortmund. Let me tell you, there was Kagawa, there was Mkhitaryan. Who's the other player that signed from Dortmund recently? Who's the other player? Kagawa, Sancho. 3 players have signed for Dortmund. Duds. Absolute duds at Man United. Went on to do okay at other clubs, but absolute duds, man. They gave us Sancho for goodness sake. Donovan, the striker need is Gutierrez. I agree. Don't know if we're going to get him, unfortunately. Hello, yeah, big up everyone. Of course, big up to the channel and stuff like that. 7 out of 10 for Bruno. There we go. Big up. If we do not attract Delap kind of player, we are finished. I mean, obviously, what it is that, you know, what it is the fact that, you know, Chelsea want him. And when Chelsea want a player, you know, that it's a bit like they stalk us a little bit in regards to football. They've always done that. Every time we've been after a player, they've been after a player, the same player. Arsenal do the same, you know, and they do that, and they end up getting them because they're willing to put the money where the mouth is. So if they get Gutierrez, that means they got Quenda and Gutierrez, 2 Sporting Lisbon players that Manchester United want. You know, people don't understand how annoyed I am. I hide it pretty well, I think. I'm so annoyed. I'm furious, guys. I'm even annoyed at Ruben Amorim. I'm annoyed at everyone. I'm annoyed because on Wednesday, I was so embarrassed to be a Manchester United fan. We just lost to Tottenham Hotspur, a weak Tottenham Hotspur, probably the weakest Tottenham Hotspur side I've ever seen in my life. And I've seen some bad ones, guys. And you know what? I don't want to hear nothing about, oh, you know, FFP and PSR. I don't want to hear about that Werther's original sucking little git. That is it. That is Jim Ratcliffe. I don't want to hear nothing from his little mouth. You know what I mean? The crusty man. I don't want to hear from it. You shouldn't have bought the football club. You can't afford the football club. You shouldn't have bought the bloody football club. You know what I mean? I'm tired of it. I'm tired, honest to God. I mean, when I think about it, it just drives me insane because at the end of the day, we couldn't even bloody beat Tottenham, a Tottenham side that had all of their best players missing. All of their best players missing. You know, and I don't want to hear nothing about, you know, we're gonna have to make these players better. What you gonna do? What you going to do? You're going to turn average players into good players at 27 years old all of a sudden? No, we're not. The only way you're going to do that is if you bring through this a youth team. That's it. And then you suddenly make them into superstars, which is going to take years. Big up, Donovan. Big up, Irfan. I'm quite sure that if United was a similar situation like City and Barca, we would have been attacked from all corners of the earth and got relegated a long time ago. Irfan, you make a good, valid point, and that Man United will always be hated, adored, never ignored. Man United will always have a media against us. Man United will always have, you know, an agenda against us. And if Man United done what Manchester City did, right now we'll be sitting in the doldrums of Championship after being deducted 20 points. It would have been done a long, long time ago. Unfortunately, the Qatar owners, they're a little bit like this. But what I would say in counter to that is that without Manchester United, and it's pretty evident right now, without Manchester United, the Premier League is not the Premier League. Man United will take away about 70% of media coverage from Man United being removed from it. The Championship will all of a sudden have more viewers than the Premier League. I guarantee you it. Absolutely. Yep, Sancho, big up, big up. What's the poll question mean, Sal? Basically, Stephanie, yesterday we were doing player ratings for the season, Steph. So we were doing player ratings for the season, and basically 1 to 3 out of 10, 3 to 5 out of 10, 5 to 7 out of 10. I mean, I only got 4 options, so that's how I did it, and 7 to 10. So basically, Onana got 80%, 1 to 3 out of 10. Dorgu got 40%, 3 to 5 out of 10. So we're going by their majority vote. Okay, so Mazraoui got 55%, 7 to 10. Euro got 88%, 7 to 10. Delap got 46%, 7 to 10. So far, it's Euro first, Mazraoui second, Delap third in the ratings. But we have got other players to go. 5 to 7 was 67% for Harry Maguire. Delap got 3 to 5 on 71%. Casemiro got 3 to 5, 38%. And Manu got 3 to 5, 70%. So now we're doing Bruno Fernandes. Let's see what his score is so far. 6 minutes. We're ending that poll. 55% for Bruno Fernandes there. 55%, 7 to 10. My goodness me. You guys. Yeah, well, that he's got 55% so far. Let's leave that for a couple of more minutes and then we go on with that one. Cengiz, Kagawa, another flop. Yeah, big flop. Big hype around him and stuff. Triple M, what's going on, my friend? I'll be doing well. Tottenham is still struggling after winning Europa League final. Uncertainty on their manager's future. Lost 4-1 to Brentford as well. Useless. I can't believe we lost to them. Yale, we are also the Europe next season. If so, FFP does not count. They could need to stop buying players until July the 1st and everything resets. But we can get more than just 3 players. I agree with that, Yale. Absolutely. And this is something... What Yale says, this is something that we need to remember, and just don't fall for the bait. Don't fall for the bait, because people are not going to think, they're going to think that we got no money. We cannot fall for the bait, guys. Absolutely not. Jengas, Delap is a good signing, but it's not enough. I agree. He's a development player. He's still what he needs someone to be, what he needs, Jengas. He needs someone to learn from. He needs someone to learn from. He needs someone there who can teach him, who can, at the end of the day, 7 out of 10 rated season or odds to be sold. Exactly. We should change it right now. I'll be honest with Ruben. He needs to make some money. We need to make some money. We need to get some money through the door. Absolutely. We had no bite in our play. Nothing, Kerwin. Nothing. Weak. Any other team in that Premier League, I'm even thinking about the likes of Everton would have stood a more of a chance of scoring a goal against Tottenham on Wednesday. Sal, please update us about Mbeumo. Mbeumo, look, there was a lot of noise about Mbeumo yesterday. A lot of it unwarranted. Man United are interested in Mbeumo. Man United admire Mbeumo, including Ruben Amorim. He does admire Mbeumo. But Newcastle United are also interested in Mbeumo. There will be more news coming from Mbeumo camp in the next couple of days. But don't be, what I would say as a Man United fan right now, we're interested in Mbeumo, but we're also interested in 100 other players. Doesn't mean we're going to get all those players. Do you know what I mean? So Man United are interested in Mbeumo. Man United admire Mbeumo, but that doesn't mean we're going to get Mbeumo. We have a chance to get Mbeumo, but it doesn't mean we're going to get Mbeumo. So at the moment, what we have to do is just wait, be patient. Let's see what happens. Ineos are very messy with their transfers. They're very messy. They don't really give anything away. Cards close to the chest. They don't reassure anyone. They're like that with everything. They're just very, very unprofessional at the end of the day. Absolutely, Paul, considering that they're overhauling United squad. It's disgraceful that he came into the football club. Oh, Mank born and bred. I don't care, Mank born and bred. I don't care. You don't like the football club. You don't love the football club. You love your pockets, mate. You know what I mean? That's what I would say to him, Big up. This is the reason any managers cannot succeed with the owners in the helm. Ephraim, this is why it is at the end of the day. But what I don't want to see, Ruben Amorim change. I don't want him to start being sympathetic towards the owners. When he first signed for United, he was talking about, the things we wanted to hear. Now, all of a sudden, it's starting to go Glazonomic-ish, So we got to be careful of that, because this has happened with other managers, other managers. Prev, 7 out of 262%. Oh, my goodness me. Let me have a look. 54%. So we're going to end this poll. Mr. Bruno Fernandes has 54% on 7 out of 10. So Bruno has 54%, 7 to 10. There we go. So the next player we're going to do, guys, and this is going to be one that for the masses. We're going to do Rasmus Højlund. We're going to do Rasmus Højlund, guys. So let's do Rasmus Højlund. 1, 2, 3. 3, 2, 5. I need a proper like a poll website or something like that. I'll get that soon one day. I'll get that soon. 7 to 10. There we go, my guys. Rasmus Højlund. There we go. Let's go next. Cohen, Bruno as a player 7, but as a captain, it's 5%, 5.25. You sound like, what is it? Liam, what's the guy? Naked Gun 5.25. Big up, Cohen. How could these players go from season worst in the finale to season best against Villa? I was fuming. Lack of pressure. You remember when Man United under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer went unbeaten in the COVID season and there were empty stadiums? So when Ruben Amorim mentioned it today in his press conference, when the pressure is off, these players seldom perform. So these players will perform when the pressure is off. But when the pressure hits, that's when they disappear and they go hiding. And that is a big issue that we've had for years. Absolutely. Fred, there's no update. Talks FC as usual. No, all talk, no action. It's going to be like that for the Jengas for the whole summer. I'm going to be going to Italy, guys, very soon. I will be talking to Fabrizio and people like that. I will be talking to some big people this summer. So I will get lots of news coming out of this channel, guys. Don't worry about that. But one thing is, remember this, we're not going to sign all those players. The maximum Man United will sign this summer is probably about 5 or 6, if we are lucky. And that includes young players, you know, so at the end of the day, that's what I would say. But it also depends on what players we're going to get rid of. At the moment, we haven't got rid of anyone, you know. I've seen Cunha goals this season. He's a lethal. He's brilliant. And all types. I've seen it as well, Donovan. He's got all types of goals as well. An absolute brilliant player. You know, I just hope that he performs for Man United, you know, and doesn't get the Man United, Man-citis, Man United disease, you know what I mean, at the end of the day. I agree, Sal. Championship is Skyward. Yeah, they'll probably say that's the new Premier League now. We have to go with that. But they won't stop talking about us, Earth fan. They will never stop talking about us. Cunha and Mbeumo will cost us 112 billion. Exactly, but it's going to cost, that's 112 million too much. The Man United got in the Champions League, yeah. But we have to wait until July the 1st. We have to wait until see what's going on with the financial years and stuff like that and see where we go from there, of course. This is why I don't agree with this Champions League clause and Adidas Sal. We get a huge exposure whether we are in Europe or not. United should refuse that bullshit clause. True, mate, true. I don't like FFP and PSR. I think it's a bullshit rule. I really do. I'm not being bitter, but I think it's a bullshit rule and gives millionaires an excuse. Thanks for clarifying the Sal 5-7 because he didn't deliver in Europa. Big up, my friend. Big up. Ephraim, if we do not sell players which are not good enough, even if we sign players, I do not think it will make much difference. Yeah. Big up, Ephraim. Oh, there is a lot to hate on Delap. He has been above average. Is a lot of hate on Delap. He has been above average. Yale, he hasn't been above average. He's been poor. Earlier in the season, he contributed to 80% of our goals from that side. His positioning is awful. He is meant to be a fullback, but he can't defend. It's not good enough. Absolutely hasn't been. He had a couple of good games, and that's it. He's had a very, very poor season. At the end of the day, in my opinion, he got 3 to 5, and that's fair for me. And you know what he got on? I've done the poll on Facebook, and I've done the poll on Instagram. He got the same. And the Instagram one had 1,000 votes. 11 from Bear, minimum 50 likes. Thank you so much, Stephanie. Let's get to 50 likes. 200. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Let's get to 200. Let's move it all up. Moving all up. Hi, all. I don't think it's hate, Red Devils United. His positioning is awful, you know, and he's been a poor player this season. He's not nowhere near what we need at the end of the day, you know. He's nowhere near what we need. The Villa game was strange. How we go from absolute trash to them dominating a top 6 team fighting for a Champions League spot. Yeah, there you go. We as a United fan base, let me tell you this. This is Stretford Post, guys. I'm going to be raw. We're too bloody soft as United fan base. We accept mediocrity. We're accepting mediocrity, mediocre performances, guys. If you come from the 90s like I do, I'm the 80s guy. I'm late 80s. If you come from this period, you will know the standards. If you don't know the standards, don't talk up about players who are rubbish. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to say it as it is. From the standards of Manchester United, these players, every single one of them, apart from a couple, I can say, the young kids, to a man, have been crap. And that is it. 41, big up, 41 likes. Big up, everyone. Can we get to 50, guys? Can we get to 50? We are looking at deals quicker. Hopefully, after the Cunha deal, we get another one done quickly. I hope so. But you know what? We are jumping the gun a little bit, Rich, in regards to the media. A lot of people are jumping the gun that we're in talks with this player, we're in talks with that player, you know, and stuff like that. Hold on, let me just message my wife. There we go. Sweet as a nut, mate. Sweet as a nut. What I could encourage Amram is to buy 3 or 4 players and to promote 5 new academy: Mentato, Comerson, Kone, Wheatley, Fletcher. Yep. Kone looks like he might go on loan. Wheatley might go on loan as well. Fletcher, I'm a big fan of. Comerson and Mentato, I'm also a big fan of course. Rich, Bruno also had a poor early season if we're reviewing them. I agree, Rich. You can't. I didn't vote on it, but people are looking at Bruno for the last few games. What I would encourage people to do is look at Bruno before the Keane outburst. When Roy Keane done that outburst, Bruno's performances miraculously increased. But before that, he was poor. I agree, Rich. No doubt about it. And also, he was poor in the final. He's been poor last few games. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I would have never have given Bruno, have I done Bruce 7 out of 10, 54%? I wouldn't myself, but this community would. And I have to appreciate the democracy of this community. Of course, I do not want to see a few outs quickly. Absolutely. Obviously, a few trolls voting mad for us as Asmus. What's going on? 56%, 1 to 3. 1 to 3, guys. Ooh, this is getting good. So guys, I'm going to end that one on Rasmus. So 56% for Rasmus, 1 to 3. So we got Rasmus, 53%, 1 to 3. That's, 2 goals. Was it 4 goals all season? 53%. 4 goals all season. Yeah, it's not good enough, isn't it? The next player I'm going to do, guys, have I done him yet? I'm going to do Ahmad. So let's do Ahmad, guys. It is only the first team players, guys. So I'm only going to do the first team players because I think it's a little bit unfair to do the players who didn't play. Absolutely. So I'm gonna just do that. 5 out of 7 and 7 out of 10. There we go. So Ahmad next, guys. Let me know. I've got to finish this poll, guys. I've got to finish this poll, definitely. Before we go main preseason talk, let us know the Edison situation when you reach Italy. I will do, Kenny. I will do. I'm going to Qatar first. Going to deal with a few things over there. Watch this space. And then I'm going to be going to Italy. Napoli, where I go, of course. Champions again. Definitely. If they do not want pressure sign, go for Brighton. Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. Red Evil, people are disappointed that we are not getting everyone's favorite Gutierrez. So the hate goes against Delap. It's true. Many put blame on Delap, which is not true. Gutierrez's ambitions are big. I don't agree with the snobbery in regards to what's going on in regards to Delap and stuff like that, when none of us truly know how good Delap can develop. And I brought it into the show earlier on today about Gutierrez. Gutierrez played for Coventry City. Now, imagine this, right? Imagine Man United signed Gutierrez from Coventry and we use Gutierrez as our main player. Imagine what the fan base will be like right now. Imagine the uproar, the anger of the fan base right now. Jengus or Rasmus has finally that subscribers. Big up. Irfan, Amman reckons that United have done in 6 months, whatever that means, what other clubs managed to do in 3 years. Seems a lot is going on. I don't know, mate. One thing that I can bring, if there's any positive that I can bring in this last 6 months, is that Ruben Amram now knows the problems at the football club are much bigger than he actually envisioned. So I would say that the problems at Man United right now are much bigger than he thought. And a lot of those problems are being kind of sorted out right now. So whereas if he started the season, and this is the only positive I bring out of it, if he started the season, next season, 2026, 25-26, he would have these same problems. So we would have put it back a year. So right now we got a chance to organize everything, But Ineos should have backed him in the summer, in January. Sorry, they should have backed him. PSR changes next season for the better, at least for United. Yeah, because less games, smaller squad. If we get Edison, then these scouts need to find a similar profile that can do the business. Wharton is a good player, I think. Stephanie, big up. Donovan, I've read Cunha transfer fee over 3 years, so it's like 20 million, but yeah, each year. That's what it is, Donovan, yeah, in installments, mate. PSR and BC will, because we spend to compete with teams like Brighton, benefit by profiting off player sales. PSR is there to protect business. What the fuck? It's a bullshit rule, Kerwin. My guy, it's a bullshit rule. We're turning football into like a too complicated PSR, FFP, all this crap, and it's feeding into billionaires' hands. You know, I don't think it helps smaller clubs. I really don't. It encourages teams to sell their young players because you get full profit. It doesn't help these players. It doesn't help, you know, at the end of the day. And it's just the way it is, guys. But, you know, this FFP and PSR needs to be go, I think. I really do. I don't think it helps anyone. I really don't. I'm not just saying that because Man United are going to be caught in the middle of it. I'm saying it because, you know, it is for me a silly, silly rule. Delap has been awful. UK Rap, big up UK Rap. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Delap, open goal miss at West Ham. Cost Everton. Absolutely. Did he miss it on purpose, Stephanie? An awful miss. I mean, look, guys. You know, I'm strict. Maybe I'm strict, but I come from a generation, guys. I don't just talk. I come from that generation. You know what I mean? You know, at the end of the day, I'm sounding like Jim Ratcliffe. Yeah, at the end of the day, this moment in time. At the end of the day, this moment in time, that's Gary Neville and Jim Ratcliffe. I don't know, man. Certainly not the worst player, but you know what? I have seen Alice Talks Football Channel, and she just said that we are still in talks with Gutierrez, and João Pedro is as well on our list. Now, let me say this about no disrespect to Alice Talks Football, lovely girl, but what I would say is this: no shit, Sherlock. At the end of the day, Man United are not in talks with João Pedro. We're not. We are interested in João Pedro. We are interested in Gutierrez. Man United are in talks with Gutierrez representatives, right? That's what's going on. We are not in talks with João Pedro. João Pedro is on the list of Manchester United players that we are interested in. Now, this buzzword, we are in talks, is a buzzword. You know, we're not in talks. Barada is in Malaysia. Who's talking to who? The Man United entourage are in Malaysia. Who's talking to who at the moment? You know, what I would say at the moment is that Man United are not negotiating. They are trying to persuade Gutierrez to come to Man United. Gutierrez has openly said he would much prefer to go to Arsenal, basically. He's not interested in the Man United project. But that's not over. But the João Pedro one is a lie. The devil's a liar, Fred. The devil's a liar. Stefano, big up. Tell her if she wants to come on the channel, she's more than welcome to argue her point. I don't mind. Did you see Anthony interview why players come here and die? Anthony, Ephraim, Anthony can cry me a river, all I care. You're not, if you don't have the mentality to play for Man United, just say you don't have the mentality to play for Man United. That's what it is. Cry me a river, Anthony, because I don't really care, mate. I don't care. What you want me to do? Oh, feel sorry for you on your 300 bags a week. You want me to feel sorry for you? I don't feel sorry for you, mate. At the end of the day, you didn't make it at Man United. You've done very well at Betis. Your level. Well done. Your level, Betis, right? Right. So great. Good stuff, mate. You know, do your thing. And good luck on the Conference League tomorrow. I'll be doing the watch along and I'll be supporting Anthony tomorrow. I hope Betis get that trophy. I really do. Unless someone supports Chelsea. Of course. Sal Romano said that we are still interested in Jogo. Is it true? Yes, we are, Ephraim. But I'm interested in many things in my life. I'm interested in a Ferrari. I can't get a Ferrari, can we? Man United are interested in Gutierrez. And Man United are fighting tooth and nail for Gutierrez. They are. That has been said consistently on this channel for many, many weeks now, Ephraim. And that is no lie. Man United would have probably got the Gutierrez deal wrapped up if Man United win the Champions League. You see, there are some players that have ambition, you know, and when you're at the age of Gutierrez is not 21. Gutierrez is 27, 26, 27. So when you get a player like that, they're going to want Champions League football. So now we're going to have to try and attract Gutierrez in another way, which is obviously throwing money at it. My prediction, Ephraim, we're not going to get Gutierrez. We're going to get Liam Delap. That's That is my prediction. It's not what I want, but I'm not going to turn my nose up at Liam Delap, right? I'm going to support him. I'm going to hope he does well, and that is it. But at the moment, it is up in the air. I think Delap had money on the bookies regarding Oh, there you go. Miles, what's going on? I remember losing 1 or 2 matches in the season was a disaster. We are Manchester United. This is not good. I mean, I wouldn't say Miles. I mean, I remember, big up Miles, how you doing? I remember when, peace, my friend. I remember when we used to lose 6. I remember when you used to be able to afford to lose about 6 games a season. I remember that. You can afford to lose about 6 games a season in them days. Absolutely. Jengas, 27 times he gave possession away in the final third, Sal. That's not acceptable, even if you play Dogu. Yeah, absolutely. Who's that? Who's that? Who's that, Jengas? I lost you, brother. I lost you. Sorry, mate. Sal, United are in talks with Napoli's sporting director, the bid of Andre Gonanto. Yeah, he suits Napoli. You can go there. I don't mind. I'm hearing Cunha is getting a number 10. Not sure if that's true. That's the news so far, Kenny. What does that mean for Marcus Rashford? That's the question. What does that mean for him? Manchester City have joined the race to sign Ryan Cherky. We must act quickly. They've already got bloody Manouche, haven't they? Why would they want him as well? You know, greedy. It's greed. Right, so far, people are taking a piss, guys. Ahmad, actually, no. Ahmad's got 50%, 7 to 10. 7 to 10, 50%, guys. So, Ahmad, 7 to 10, 50%. Right, the next player we are going to do, guys, we've not got many left, have we? Have we got many left? No. The next one we're going to do is Agate. We ain't done Agate yet, have we? Have we done Agate? No, we haven't done Agate. Let's start this. So we got Agate, 1 to 3, 3 to 5. I feel like I'm at school. I don't know why. 5 to 7. 7 to 10. There we go. That's the one. Anthony needs to keep his mouth shut. There you go. He didn't help himself with his field shenanigans in his season coming. I knew Anthony was a joke when I saw him training in the Danga earring. You know what I would say, Jengas? There's a lot of things about Anthony that people don't know, so they're just going by what he's performing like at Betis. He's an extremely rude character, swore at Ruben Amorim, you know. It's not what we want, is it? That's the culture that I've been talking about, banging on about for ages, of course. 6 out of 10 for Ahmed for me. Big up, Kenny. I agree. A little bit overrated this season, a little bit. Sporting and Manchester United is a different beast. Can you think he can replicate what he did at Ephraim, he can't. He can't, absolutely. Newcastle have 300 million. Oh, my God. Where do we go from here, Jamie? You know? Man, you're a window shopper. Mad at me. I think you know why. Jim's a window shopper. Oh, man. Jolly, Cunha transfer is over 2 years and we are paying 20 million every 8 months. It's like me walking into Dixon's and getting a fridge on credit. Not Coot, it's Michael Oliver who's VAR. Coot was the guy. Coot was the fool man, Kenny. He was the fool man, wasn't he? But he shouldn't have gave the penalty in the first place. Stop believing the spin. Big up, Jamie. We're Carly Minogue. FC Carly Minogue, guys. I'm spinning around. Move out of my way. FC, that is what, you know what? Jim Ratcliffe has that on repeat every single day. Spinning around by Carly Minogue. Obviously, the United rebuild is bigger than Sporting rebuild as players like Shaw and Casemiro Rashford on huge contracts are harder to shift. So it will take longer, but Amram will know this. It's true, mate. It's hard. What do you do, Jengas? Exactly. It's hard. You can't just get rid of someone on 200 grand a week. It's got a 2-year contract. You know? This is why we needed the full sale, guys. We needed that full sale, didn't we? We really did. Sal, fed up with no money crap. Me too, George. Hate it. We've been through the bad season. We don't want to hear nothing about that. We're bloody Man United, for goodness sake. 30 minutes for Delap is not bad, some either. If he can complete flop, we can, yeah. It's a no-brainer, isn't it? Bruno in the final, Sal, I was trying to talk about. Bruno was crap in the final. Absolute useless. Unbelievable. Smash the likes, people, and let's give support to the hard work. Thank you so much, Ephraim. Much love to you, brother. Did not know about the fallout between Anthony. Mate, there you go. Things don't just happen, you know. Told him to F off, Charlie. He told him if he wanted to play wing back, he goes for F off. I'm playing wing back. Culture is the biggest thing, Sal. I was generally shocked a bit back when I saw a Rashford woman at Old Trafford wearing a Dangy earring. Imagine Fergie accepting that. Fergie got rid of a known winner, serial winner like David Beckham, you know, told him to shave his hair off and everything. You know what I mean? Could loan Shaw out for the next 2 years? I think we can loan him to Burger King, whatever we want to do. That would be good, wouldn't it? Just loan him off somewhere else, as long as he's not our problem at the end of the day, you know. What has Ugarte got so far? 67% for Ugarte. He's got 5 to 7 out of 10. 5 to 7 so far. Ugarte's got 5 to 7 out of 10. So that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Let me just write this again. Bloody, I've got chewing gum stuck to my bloody. I've got. There we go. Charlie, didn't Anthony do a very same thing? Yes, mate, he did. Attitude. Ruben Amram, one thing, people could say what they like about Ruben Amram, and some things may be true, some things may be lies, but one thing is for certain, Ruben Amram, you know, is not an idiot. You know, he's not an idiot. He knows, you know, what needs to go, what doesn't need to go, you know. Anthony is extremely fortunate at the end of the day. And you know what? And the thing is, right, I applaud Anthony because of the way Anthony performed for Betis. And I think he's got his head down and he's done very well, Betis. Congratulations. He's found his level. The Spanish league suits him. That's great. But, you know, let's not act like he's an absolute saint here. Because he's not, guys. You know, he's manipulative. And people need to understand that this is precisely the reason that Rashford was moved on. This is precisely the reason, you know, that Malacia was moved on. A lot of those players were upset that Ten Hag left. You know, so the Amram comes in, you know, wants to play his style of football, and then they don't want to play it. And that's the thing. Let's go to Casemiro and rate him. Have we done Casemiro yet? Yeah, we've done Casemiro. 3 to 5. He got Freya. 3 to 5, 38%. 3 to 5. So if this kind of season happens next season, what will happen? He will lose his job, but he needs to be backed. I think it won't be justified. I don't give a shit about Anthony Bovers. Yes, Tybog. I love Tybog. Absolutely. That is what we're talking about. Big up Tybog. Hope you're doing well. Amram doesn't entertain nonsense, if you have ever noticed since he came. And that's what you need, Fred. Would Alex Ferguson entertain the nonsense? Would he do that? I mean, he got rid of Beckham and Stam and Bruce and people like that. Serial winners at the football club. You know, these guys are not serial winners, you know, and they're acting like they are. It's disgraceful, isn't it? Okay, so Ugarte's got 53%. We're going to end that poll. 53% he's got on 3 to 5 out of 10. So, yeah, 53%, 5 to 7. 5 to 7 out of 10. Wow. I'm surprised by that. I am surprised by that. 50% is Ugarte. Still the player of the season, guys, is Euro. On my poll, Euro is player of the season. Mazrou is second. Delict is third. Jengus, Kenny, it's ridiculous. Anthony throwing shade at United. The club had to give him time or fly back to Brazil. His age. Absolutely. He had time a bit. He was almost going to jail. You know what I mean? He was almost going to bloody prison. You know what I mean? And this just reminds me of the Sancho situation. They're all a bunch of prats. You know what I mean? I would like to bring Anthony back. Don't give him his bloody move to Betis. You know what I mean? Put him in the reserves. You know what I mean? It annoys me, to be honest. Honestly. I bet he won't. I bet anywhere he goes, he won't accept a lower wage, though, will he? He won't accept a lower wage, though, will he? Amram is a winner and wants players to have the winning mentality. Absolutely agree with that, my friend. You know what I mean? I agree with that. Absolutely agree with that. I'm wholeheartedly agree with that, my guy. Absolutely. Absolutely. But there you go, guys. You know what? There's going to be a lot of nonsense and people speaking out. I knew it was a matter of time before Anthony spoke out. It was a matter of time Anthony spoke out. Absolutely. Sal, why is the manager's tune changing the second season? They do not know what they talk. They go. I mean, the thing about the overriding similarities between Eric Ten Hag, Jose Mourinho, not Jose Mourinho as such, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Ruben Amorim, is that they start to go pro Glazer mode. And this is the one thing I fear about Amorim. Eric Ten Hag did the same. They go pro Glazer mode, you know? Okay, so we're going to do now Garnacho, guys. Now, be fair, guys. Garnacho next. Let's not think about what's happened this last few weeks. Let's think about his season as a whole, okay? So we're going to do Garnacho now, guys. 5 to 7 and 7 to 10. We're going to do Garnacho now. So let's see what happens with Garnacho. Big up, Frere. I believe Amorim can solve all our problems in 2-3 seasons, but only with the support of upstairs. This is what it is, Tybog, isn't it? It's the $1 million question here. You know, are they going to support him? Are they going to back him to the hill and back? Will they do it? I don't know. You know, they have to do it. I mean, it's insanity to bring a manager in like Ruben Amorim with a unique style of football halfway through the season, not give him any of his players in January, off-field issues up to the ceiling, and then expect him to work miracles next season and make players better. You know, make players better. How do you make Bruno Fernandes better at 30, 31? How do you do that? How do you stop him from doing glory balls? How do you stop him from, you know, how do you make Luke Shaw fit again? How, you know, I mean, it's just annoying, isn't it? At the end of the day. Solid 7 in his age experience and a year on an improvement. There you go, Kervin. That's Kervin's opinion. Big up, Kervin. I think it's a little bit less, but that's my opinion. But obviously, it's down to you guys, of course. George, Ratcliffe, no money, do one. Ratcliffe can get lost. Absolutely, George. Ratcliffe shouldn't be at this football club. He's not a Manchester United owner. He never has been. He got billions from being a stingy so-and-so. And that is what it is at the end of the day. You know, that is what it is. And that's what I would say, you know, in regards to that. Definitely. Stingy, so and so, guys, in my opinion. But there we go. We can't complain, can we? At the end of the day, many Man United fans were singing the praises of Ineos. Let's see if they come out with their apologies after this summer. I hope that he proves me wrong. Ab, what's going on, my friend? How you doing? Good to see you back. What do you think of Leacher, keeper, sell? I'm a bit concerned about Leacher, Ab, 12. The thing is, Ab, is that I've been a big fan of Leacher. I think Leacher's one of the few players in our squad that I think actually has it. You know, he actually has what we need. You know, and unfortunately, because he puts his body on the line, and once you get those sort of injuries, you know, it does reoccur. It reoccurs again and again. And I'm a little bit concerned by him. Thank God we got Aiden Heaven. But I would give Leacher one more season. I would. I'll give him one more season. And if he starts getting injuries, then I'll just transfer list him, in my opinion. Of course. Freya, I'm imagining Cunha and Bruno as your attacking midfield behind your strikers for the season. It would be crazy. Sal, goals will fly in. But if we get goals... The only thing I fear, Freya, right? I fear that he's going to play Bruno as a number 8. That's what I fear. He's going to play Bruno as a number 8, and Bruno is not a number 8. I don't care what anyone says. Bruno's definitely not a number 8, in my opinion. Ephraim, if Amorim go, we are finished. They will take the managers who is a muppet. Absolutely, mate. So, I mean, he was wanted by Real Madrid, guys, before he went to Man United. Liverpool couldn't afford him. He would have went to Liverpool and probably won the league there. You know, everything was ready for him there. Triple M, is there a slight chance that Qatar will come in a bit? Slight chance. I'm going to find out a lot more in July, guys. I'm going to Qatar. I'm going to speak to a few people over there. So the thing with the Qataris, let me tell you something about the Qataris, right? As a person who's been on Qatari TV and spoken about this whole process, the thing about the Qataris is that Sheikh Jassim Hamid and all those people are very, very shy. They don't like speaking in front of the media. They're not like Jim Ratcliffe with the hot air that comes out of his mouth every single 5 minutes, except when the going gets tough, he hides. So what I would say is that the Qataris are very shrewd people, and they have been disrespected by Man United. Man United disrespected the Qataris before, you know, and they said that they couldn't afford to buy the football club. They don't have the money, apparently. You know, Qatar, the one who just given Donald Trump a bloody aeroplane, It's insulting. And those come from people who've never known the Middle East, who never lived in the Middle East, who don't know nothing about Middle East. I live in the Middle East. I come from London. I live in the Middle East. These guys spend money like there's no tomorrow, guys. These guys spend money like there's no bloody tomorrow. They don't care. You know what I mean? And to say that they ain't got the funds. No, Jim Ratcliffe ain't got the funds. That's the fact. Jim Ratcliffe ain't got the funds. Look at what's going on. He ain't got the funds because he's making everyone redundant. It's disgraceful, isn't it? I mean, come on, ain't got the funds. Every single person in that club right now would kept their job. You know what I mean? If Qatar was in charge of Man United right now, everyone would have kept their job. Old Trafford we'll be remaining at Old Trafford right now. We'll be remaining at Old Trafford. We'll be having the bulldozers out right now, fixing it up. You know what I mean? Right now, players who don't perform would have been out the club a long time ago. New players would be in. FFP would be up the roof because we had no debt. The debt would have been cleared. PSR would have been through the roof because the debt would have been cleared. We make money now, even though we're in debt. Can you imagine if we had no debt? Mad, isn't it? Big up, Jengas. Big up, Chibadem. We keep Leacher to be companion of Euro and Noose, or probably with Heaven. I agree. Hopefully he doesn't get injured again. Leacher has earned time. He may be, I agree with that. Injury prone, but he knows what it means to represent this club. Absolutely doesn't disrespect the club. Tragic, really, what's happened. He's a genuine United player. One of the few, isn't it, Jengas? One of the few as well. One of the few. Bruno never performed when he put in the number 8, so I am very surprised some people actually see him as a number 8. He's not a number 8, exactly. Right, let's see what 5 to 7, 38% we've got for Garnacho, 5 to 7 out of 10. We're going to end that poll. Garnacho, 5 to 7 out of 10, guys. I'm surprised by that, but fair enough. Garnacho, 5 to 7, 38%. So it's not bad for Garnacho. It's not bad for Garnacho. Let me think of any more players that we can pick for Manchester United this season who've played a number of games. The next one we're going to do is the last one for today. Aiden Heaven. 1 to 3. 3 to 5. He hasn't played as much as I would have hoped, but 5 to 7. 7 to 10. So the last one, last but not least for today, and I think that'll be it. In regards to first team players, I think that's it. I think we've done Ugarte, we've done everyone. Yeah. So I think the poll's going to be unanimous. How do you say that? Unanimous. If Amram doesn't want Leacher to get injured every time, he should minimize his minutes and game time. He should play him in big matches and little minutes in small games. I agree, mate. I agree with that. We got to be careful with him now. He's very injury prone. Now they eat their word. Who said Qatar have no money? Ephraim, exactly. They will never apologize, though, will they? They won't. Qatar bought Trump. Can buy a menu. Of course they can. He has not the physicality, the pace to play there, Bruno Fernandes. Exactly, I agree with that, Ephraim. Garnacho 4, big up Sal, just arrived. Big up Retro, how you doing? Garnacho 4, well, hey, there you go. I'm surprised he got a 5 to 7, 38%. I'm giving Heaven a 7 just on his cameos and potential. Seems a good kid. Jengas, absolutely. Heaven has been great this season. Hope he will be given lots of minutes coming season to get more experience. I think we're done with the poll, really. I think we're done with the poll. It looks like we're going to announce it tomorrow, the winners on the poll. We're going to announce it tomorrow. 7 out of 10, Cole, good, promising player, absolutely. United does have 3 very good young defenders, I agree. Heaven, Ayoro, and Fredrickson. Maybe we will see Kukunki. I mean, Kukunki's a beast. We'll probably see him. He's brilliant. Big up, Yale. Heaven in an 8, never put a foot wrong. Absolutely brilliant. Heaven's going to get a good result, but you know what? We can't make him player of the season, guys. He's not going to be player of the season. We can't make him player of the season. So 5 to 7, 54% for him. 31% say that. Yeah, fair enough. 3 to 5, 15%. I think he's going to get a 5 to 7, but we'll leave it there. Heaven. So we got Heaven. We're going to give him a couple of more minutes and then we go on from there. And then we see what Heaven gets after that, guys. Look, the last thing I wanted to hear this afternoon when I was watching the press conference is more negativity. That's one thing I wanted to stay away from was negativity. We've had a negative season already. And all we want to hear really is a bit more hope, positivity, you know? Yes, the Cunha deal has been it's been a blessing. It's great. We got the Cunha deal, you know, that's fantastic. But we shouldn't rest on our laurels. We shouldn't rest on our laurels, and we shouldn't just, you know, say that's it now. You know what I mean? We're not going to sign any more players. Man United need 5-6 more players, and we need 5-6 more players. Otherwise, we're not going to turn up next season. You know, so I hope that this negativity that we're hearing is just a smokescreen. I hope so. You know, I really do. But I'm not holding my breath, guys. I want to thank everyone. Let's see what Heaven's got. Heaven's got 57%, 5-7. So 50%, 5-7. Heaven, 57%, 5-7. So I think that's about it. Look, I think I need to do Eriksen, Lindelof. Those players, there's no point doing those players, to be honest with you. I think I'll keep those players, and we're gonna go through it bit by bit. Yeah, it's unanimous though. We're going to do the worst player and the best player. Hope Kone will make his debut in Malaysia. I hope so as well. Hope to see him, of course. Heaven starts the final. Maybe the goal will be not scored. I agree, Ephraim. I think it won't be scored. Yeah, should have started him. Aaron said he has to improve the team he's got, which is disgusting. Randy, what do you think about that, mate? You can't teach an old dog new tricks, as they say. You can't lead a cow to the river and expect him to drink from the river. You might not. Spot on, Sal. We have to try and look forward and be positive. Too much negativity in the fan base. I agree, mate. Too much. I'm tired of negativity, Jengus. Really tired. It's exhausting, you know. It's exhausting. Big up South your hard work. Big up Ephraim. Big up everyone who's joined me today. Thank you so much, guys. I'm going to give you the results of the poll, the player of the season, the worst player of the season, the standout player of the season, the shock player of the season. I'm going to give you the poll, guys, at the end tomorrow, of course. But everyone, thank you so much for joining me. Have a great day. And wherever you are in the world, I'll be back tomorrow for Breaking Dawn. If nothing else breaks, of course. And we got the watch along tomorrow as well, guys. So don't forget about that. Have a great day, night, evening, wherever you are in the world. I'm Sal Warner. This is Chatterbox. Take it easy, guys. Peace.